Hello everybody. So today, I had some requests for doing some maybe favorite people in Hello Project and stuff like that. So today's my obsession is going to be a list again. Kind of. Not really. It's not really a list. Well, I guess it is a list. Anyways, point being, it's my favorites from the main groups in Hello Project. I know there's a lot of little groups or splinter groups. There's been a lot of shuffle groups. And then there's, of course, the Kenshusei. I always wonder if I say that correctly because I'm not too familiar with them. But there's also them, which I'm not familiar with at all, so I'm not even going to tackle that because that would just be me cheating and just picking somebody random. So I'm going to start with the newest group and then work my way to the oldest group. So first off is Juice. Yeah, so Yuka. Interestingly, I don't really know much about most of the individual members, but I liked Yuka mainly for one simple reason, is that back when there was a radio station, online radio station where they used to have interviews with her and Haruna and Mizuki and stuff, she was, just because of that, I kind of got to know her a little bit more, and it was kind of cool hearing about her perspective on things. So because of that, I ended up, she ended up being my favorite. So, I don't know, I think she's really gorgeous too. That could factor into it. But that's really the only reason. Moving on, we've got my favorite member in ANGERME. So, this is a toss-up. Originally, and it's always been Ayaka, mainly because I actually I remember reading a long article about an interview with her about her obsession with art and whatnot, and I really appreciated that, and I thought that was really neat. So I gave her props for that, and I really liked that. Not too completely familiar with most of the other members. I'm starting to get kind of familiar. The reason why I included Rikako also is because, honestly, those ears of her, I think is the most adorable thing on the planet. I just want to pinch her cheeks. She's so cute. But that's really all it is, to be honest. Like, same thing, I don't really know too much about the members, so that one's kind of a toss-up. But Ayaka is my favorite. Rikako's, as I learn more, maybe will become my favorite, but she does get a special shout-out. Next up is C-ute. So, this one is kind of interesting because my original favorite used to be Mai Hagiwara, and the reason for that is because she always used to do those little cooking episode things with Aika, and I always thought that was fun, and that's really all it was, to be honest. She's okay singing voice. She is pretty, but I think everybody in Hello Project's pretty, so that's irrelevant. But that was really it. And then two things really caught my eye about Chisato that kind of put her up a little bit higher than Mai for me. Which was, one, she does this interesting, she did, I think it was like 2010 or 2011, she did dance cover type videos. Basically what she did was, in her own room, she recorded herself doing a dance cover of cute songs, just like we do. So it's kind of cool seeing that. It was just like a personal connection that I thought was made between me and her, because that was when I saw that was during the time that I actually was trying to do dance covers, so I just thought that was really cool. It was a really good way to reach out to your fans. And I like that. I'm kind of disappointed she doesn't do it anymore, but idle life. It's busy. The other reason is because of a story about her actually shortly after AKB. It was an AKB handshake, I think, or something, how somebody tried to assault one of the members, which was really stupid, by the way. Even with me not being a fan of AKB, I think that's ridiculous. That's too much. But I digress. Point being that shortly after that, it was at an event with some kind of event with C-ute, and something about a fan, I don't remember, I think they were trying to talk or something, and the security was trying to press him along, and then she got really upset and actually defended the fan in front of everybody, and like, that just kind of hit me hard, and I was just like, that's kind of cool, like, she's looking out for us, and she's always looking out for us. So that's why. Personally, I think Airi actually has a best voice in the group, but Chisato is my favorite, with Mai as a close second. And then next up is Berryz. Now in Berryz Kobo, this one is actually a no-brainer for me. This hasn't changed. This hasn't it's always been the same. Risako is just simply my favorite. I think she's the most gorgeous, and I think she has the best voice in the group. I think her shyness is really cute. She always makes me smile with her posts that she does on her blog. And don't get me wrong, I do love all of them. Captain especially stands out. I do follow her regularly too. And I do like all of them, but Risako is hands down. She's my favorite. And now for present day Morning Musume. Morning Musume 1-5. My favorites, it's a toss-up. I think it's leaning more towards Haruna as being my number one, with Sakura close second. But the reason for Haruna is actually, I know she's not a good singer. She's not very talented in that regard. Even as a dancer, she's okay. She's not the most talented, but in that regard, she reminds me a lot of Kyou, in the sense that she's not the best idol, per se, as far as skill set goes, but she's got the character. And she always makes me smile, she always makes me laugh. All those pictures of everybody sleeping she always takes, I love them. They make me laugh so much. And other little things here and there like that. I find her to be funny. I like the way she communicates. I had a very personal, good experience with her when I had the handshake event when I went to New York. That was really cool. And the other big thing, which is a no-brainer, which really puts her up for me, is she's a Pokemon fan. Any Pokemon fan is good in my books. So that just adds icing and tops off the cake, and it's perfect. So Haruna is my favorite. Sakura is a close second because I think she's a really, really good singer. She's really talented. She really reminds me of Ai, not in the sense that they're similar personalities or singing quality or singing type, but just in the sense that she started off showing a lot of potential, and I've seen her improve over time, and I think she can be a really special singer if she really works hard on it. She's not perfect yet, and she's not the best, but just the way I can hear it in her voice, she's really good, and she really needs to work on that more, I think. And that's why. I also find her funny and cute, and maybe it's because she's an underdog, because nobody else in the group likes her, so she's a lone 11th gen. So I know there's a lot of stories about her being basically pushed aside because they don't really have a connection with her. Maybe that's part of the reason why. Is I appreciate that, and I really reach out to that, so I like her for that too. And for the whole group as a whole, or I should say, I guess it is a whole as well too, but for the past Morning Musume OG members, my favorite would have to be, yep, that's right, anybody who knows anything about me already knows that Ai Takahashi is my favorite, hands down, no questions asked, there's no doubts, no doubting it, there's no questioning it, there's nothing even to discuss. She's my favorite. The reason why I included Miki Fujimoto in this also is because she was my original favorite when I first started listening to Morning Musume back in 2005. Her voice caught me. The way she said her O, like mo and stuff like that was really cute, that little accent she had. And Miki Fujimoto was my first Oshi. But as soon as I started getting to know the members more and more and more, and Miki had left shortly around the time that I had first started following him anyway, so I didn't really have a chance to really, have her be my favorite. So I didn't really have time to develop any more like for that. But with I was basically with her from the time it started all the way up until the time she graduated, almost the time she started. She started, 2002? So it was I think it was 2002, so 3 years before I did, but that's still almost her whole career I followed pretty much. So she's my favorite, hands down. With Miki getting a special mention for being the first, and I love it. So I love everybody. I'm not one of those people who dislikes anybody. The only people I could say I disliked were Koharu and Momochi, but even that I don't dislike. Koharu I didn't like originally, and then something happened when I saw her at Anime Expo, and she did something to me specifically that really made me happy. So she instantly became cool in my books. And with Momochi, that's a hit or miss. I actually, I never really paid attention to her, but recently I started to. She has a really good singing voice. When I go to her, listen to her parts in the Berryz song, she's actually pretty good. But that cutesy character that she has, I don't dig it. Sayu did it well. Koharu was okay, but I didn't really like that either. But I just don't dig that Momochi. Like, the pigtail thing, I don't like that. But as a singer, I think she's good. She does make me laugh when she does her comedy stuff. And I think she's pretty cool. Just that particular character. So, like I said, not necessarily that I dislike her. Just that she's not my favorite. But point being is that I love them all, regardless. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next week's, we'll see what happens. Thank you for watching, guys.